Hello and welcome to my channel, GreenLion Goddess Tarot. Oh, the devil has come out. This is a daily reading for the 20th of August. But before we get, next to some healing, which is nice. Before we get stuck into today's reading, I have something very exciting to share, just like this little page of swords, a little message to share. My brand new course, Tarot 101, is officially open. I'm so excited, like this beautiful High Priestess. Oh, wow, I can really segue into the cards. So I will be teaching you in this course the exact technique that I use to read tarot. And you don't have to be psychic to begin. Yes, those skills can develop along the way. But this is about building confidence, understanding the card meanings, learning how to see the connections and patterns that show up in your life. And so right now there's a special early bird offer for the first 5 days only. I'm very excited and nervous at the same time. Starting today. Now, so that if you've been waiting to learn tarot or to dive into tarot or to enhance your tarot skills, this is it. The link is in the description box below. I'd love to see you inside Tarot 101, and there's 5 days only of this special early bird offer. So get in. Okay, so let's see. The cards have been very generous with us today and given us more cards than usual. And I want to say that the message of this is about unlocking your intuition, quite literally, with the High Priestess and the Eight of Swords. That High Priestess and the Devil, my goodness, okay, these two major arcanas, what is blocked with your intuition? Because there's, or are you receiving some sort of intuitive message, or is there something here like a knowing, something like I knew that, an acknowledgement, okay, of, yeah, I sort of knew that. When I look back at something in my life, I kind of knew it was there all along, whether it was somebody hurt you or something deceived you or something just didn't work out for you. There's this sense that, or there was just a knowing that something wasn't right and that you were stuck and blocked. And you may have lived with this for a while. Like sometimes it's like the frog in boiling water. We just get used to pain. We get used to situations. We get used to our wounds. We get used to living with things that are struggles. And, you know, some of us, it's sometimes you get to the point where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it feels like with the High Priestess, there's this inner acknowledgement of knowing that there was a darkness in your life. And whether this was you or someone around you that was dark, there was like the acknowledgement that there was a part of you that knew that was there all along. Or even though you might have felt like you were in the dark, or that you for whatever reason didn't realize it at the time, maybe you did, but there's a sense of acknowledging that part of you that knew, that part of you that knew that you were stuck and there was something better for you. And this in itself is a very healing message that we're getting coming through today with that Ace of Cups and the Page of Swords. And this is there's some beautiful energy coming in this week around healing, with the Sun trining Chiron, Venus squaring Chiron. So it's like Venus saying it's time to look at those wounds around love, money, self-worth, the things that you value or how you felt valued in your life. So that High Priestess sits there next to the two cards where things are clouded, or we've got things are clouded in the Seven of Cups, or we've got the blindfolds on in the Eight of Swords, and yet the High Priestess sits there right in the center with confidence, knowing and understanding and listening to the whispers of her soul, the inner knowings, and just going, even though there's things around me that aren't certain, that aren't sure, that my mind is suddenly being freed of something that felt quite clouded inside my life. The options are still unclear how I'm going to break free. It feels like there's some kind of healing message that breaks you free of old liberation. Old liberation, that's not the right word, it liberates you, breaks you free of old limitations is what I want to say. Maybe it is old liberations, but old limitations is what I what I'm saying. And so this is really a strong message to trust your intuition here. That High Priestess is in that cloud of the Seven of Cups, about learning to trust the choices and that she's now making. It's a sense of, whilst things aren't super clear, it feels like I'm learning to trust those feelings as opposed to being in my head with the Eight of Swords. So this Six of Cups is really nice because it gets this sense that there's harmony that's been able to be found, emotional harmony. There's a sense of feeling quite balanced with how you're using your intuition as well. But there's also this sense of there's been something from the past with the Devil and the Six of Cups. But the Six of Cups is when you've moved on from the intensity, the challenge of the feeling, or the challenge to trust your intuition, whatever that was in the past that we were talking about at the start, that thing, that darkness, that it could have even been a real negative pattern or habit that you got into or that somebody else got into. It's something quite negative and blocked in your life with the Devil. It could be a person, it could just be a situation you found yourself in, very bound and trapped and blocked. And the Six of Cups is saying it's something from the past, but the thing is that there is healing around that past energy now, so that it is a memory from the past coming up, but yet it's understanding that that past no longer has any hold over you. So it's an interesting energy because it's the words I want to say is trust, learning to trust your intuition, really learning to understand that inner knowing was there all along. And there's some kind of healing message that's coming in around a difficult situation in your life that has been there in the past. And so I love this with the High Priestess because it feels like there's some synchronicities that are coming in with this. It could even be that that character in the Eight of Swords has the blindfolds on and needs to break free. They need to transform how they're seeing or thinking about a situation or a memory from the past or a memory that comes up from the past. And there's hardly any water there in that Eight of Swords. It's like quite rocky terrain. There's shallow, like those little rock pools around, and it doesn't feel like stable ground. And yet it feels like the High Priestess next to that character of the Eight of Swords is saying it's okay. It's okay. I'm here. So intuition is by your side with something that you might be moving through some interesting waters here in terms of something you couldn't see in the past or haven't been able to see, something that's rising up now. We're showing you how you've been blocked or how you've somehow, there's been some sort of negative influence, and there is knowledge coming up from those places where it has been trapped, and its untapped potentials rising up through these inner knowings, through your intuition. And it's just a matter of you being able to see it and understand it. So it feels like a day of mental breakthroughs, of memories from the past, situations from the past where there's a darkness. There is healing around that, a shift of perspective, or even some kind of message or news or something that comes in which somehow brings this up to the surface, but yet there is healing around this. There's a healing opportunity, and the message is to leave the past in the past. You can make new choices moving into the future if you learn to trust your intuition. I feel like I'm selling my tarot course right now, but this is actually what I'm getting in the reading. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, the last couple of weeks, the amount of times I've been writing things about that, like trying to build material into the launch. I'm just like, yeah, it's here in the reading. But it's a beautiful time of deep insights. So head and heart are working together in a way where if there's something that doesn't make sense, it's like, let's work it out. Let's work it through together. And it's sort of like we're just gently moving through some energy. It may be something that is kind of inner or a little way a bit challenging because it's something from the past coming up. But yet it feels like there is an ability to move through something that hasn't been clear and to find the clarity through trusting your intuition. So that is the reading for today. And before you go, a very quick reminder that my Tarot 101 course is now open. And this is where I teach you the exact method I use to read the cards, step by step. You do not have to be psychic or overly intuitive to start. It can happen and develop along the way. Just a willingness to learn and trust yourself like this beautiful high priestess. So I've got a special early bird offer for the next 5 days only. And if this is something that you're feeling called towards and trust that high priestess energy to deepen your connection with tarot or to start learning and trusting it, now is the perfect time. So the link is in the description box below, and I can't wait to see you inside Tarot 101. It's hosted by me. It's a self-paced video course. You can do it at your own time. And yeah, very excited. So thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments, and take care.